Oh yeah, the lineups are set. For the second time in 3 weeks, the Seahawks will be hosting the San Francisco 49ers at Lumen Field. And last time it was for the NFC West title. This time it will be for a ticket to the NFC Championships. Terry Holloman joins me in the Hawk Zone to break it down.
Oh yeah.
Hello, my friend.
Hello. Before we talk football, I got to tell you I'm a little jelly. Your weekend looked incredible.
Thank you.
I need an oxygen facial myself. Look at my pores cleared up. You know?
We would be asleep if we were both on those little beds right now with this chair.
Invite me. I'm ready. I'm down.
Next time maybe we can do a dual facial thing happening.
Okay, football.
How do you feel about the Seahawks now that we know we are playing the San Francisco 49ers?
I feel great. I felt great regardless of who we're going to play. I actually, if you recall back from last week, I thought we were going to play the Green Bay Packers. That was my ideal choice, but they botched it. They 21-point failure.
They really did.
Yeah, they did. And so we are going to face the 49ers, which I'm better with them than I am with the Rams, honestly. But still, it's the third time facing one team in one season. It's going to be interesting.
I know. I really hope we can three-peat there with the San Francisco 49ers. They did knock out the defending champs with that 23-19 win over Philly. What impressed you, if anything at all, with the 49ers in that game?
The number one thing I think about when I think about the 49ers, not just in that game, but this season, is their resilience. They faced so many adversities. They've had so many injuries, so many ups and downs, and they still find themselves in this position facing the Seahawks for a chance to go to the Super Bowl. So again, looking at the resilience of these guys, the play of the superstars that they have still out there on the field with Brock Purdy and Christian McCaffrey, it's just resilience.
I know. It's a little scary when you have those weapons. They are super banged up, though, like you just said. They're out with George Kittle. He went down with an ACL tear, right?
Yeah. And just again, before we jump off of that, it's sad to see a guy like that go down. He's one of the most elite players in the National Football League. He is definitely a future Hall of Famer. He's one of the best tight ends to play the game. That being said, if you're a Seahawks fan, you kind of got to be a little bit excited that he's not in the game, and we don't have to worry about that when it comes to us this weekend.
Does that change the dynamic a little bit when you're losing a tight end like that on how we're going to be, playing and throwing the calls in?
Yeah, absolutely. Again, when a guy like that is in the game, you have to game plan for him. You have to know where he's at on the field at every given moment. You have to account for him. So now that he's not, he has a guy that's coming in behind him that's obviously a second stringer for a reason, right? And he's obviously a little bit slower, a little less experienced. So that gives the Seahawks a little bit more of an edge when it comes to covering that position on the field.
Absolutely. And our defense is going to be all over it because come on.
Yeah, no doubt.
Our red zone execution, though, has been a real issue for the Seahawks. What really has to just change, I guess, with our offense in general?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question. That's the one thing that's really been hindering this team this season is their red zone productivity. I think, to me, in my opinion, and you can quote this is a T. Holler quote, I think we have to change the cutesy quotient. The cutesy quotient, that's when you get down in the red zone, you get close to the end zone, and you start doing cute things. Like you start throwing guys in motion, and you start trying to run these trick plays, and you try to do all these different things rather than play football, hard-nosed football, the kind of football that we called back in the day 3 yards in a cloud of dust. You turn around, you have two of the best running backs in the league, give them the ball. Give him the ball like we should have gave Marshawn the ball.
I knew we were going there. No, it's too soon truly for me, but it's okay.
Yeah.
We need to talk about it though.
We'll talk about it after. I have a therapist.
With our facial. We'll go get a facial.
I have a therapist we can call you.
What is your bold prediction for this game? Is it going to be a three-peat? Because we've beat the 49ers the other two times.
No, we did not. So we're 1-1 with the 49ers.
What?
Yeah, we are 1-1 with the 49ers.
I'm wrong?
See now, a little bit, but it's okay. We all fall short of the glory. But this is the tiebreaker, right? No, so we played them very close the first time, but they came away with the victory.
I don't remember that. I blocked it out.
Yeah, I know. Sometimes you have to black out trauma, things like that.
That's trauma.
And I do the same thing, kind of like I almost blocked out the Marshawn thing. But anyways, as I digress. This is not only are we playing them again, they're obviously the last game we played before we went into a bye week. So what we have to do now, we look at that game, if you remember, it was 13-3. But I don't think the score was indicative of just how bad that beatdown was. So I think now they're coming into Lumen Field. I'm calling on all the 12s to be in full effect and at the loudest you've ever been. I think that's going to be there. I think that goes without saying. What I see is that it's going to be a wider margin of victory for the Seahawks. I'm predicting. That's my bold victory, my bold prediction right now. I think they're going to do a lot better than they did the last game. And the reason why I say that again is because they've been dealing with so many injuries, so many hardships, and then they lose this all-pro tight end in Kittle's last week. It's going to be tough sledding.
Okay, it's going to be better than 13-3 for sure. Maybe 27-3.
I'm counting on it. 10-point victory. You heard it here first.
Okay, there we go. The other NFC divisional game is the Bears and the Rams. The Bears are coming off that incredible win versus the Packers. Who do you think poses the bigger threat moving forward? Is there one team or the other? I'm a little scared to play the Bears the way they come back.
Really? Why?
Look at the way they came back and won that game.
See, that's the deal with the Bears. Okay, they've been a good team all season, right?
Yeah.
They're led by a young quarterback, Caleb Williams. He's really good too as well. But these guys have been miraculous. They've been having really lucky wins at the ends of games. And so I think at some point, especially in the National Football League, luck runs out at a certain point. So I think that if the Seahawks were to face the Bears, I think the Seahawks would have a big, big win versus those guys. Because I think the Seahawks are defensively, they're better. But I do know that I am afraid of the Los Angeles Rams a little bit. And I'm afraid of them because they always traditionally, historically have had Seattle's number. And that's going back to when they were the St. Louis Rams. So I'm predicting that, honestly.
And Stafford.
And Matthew Stafford. And more importantly than Matthew Stafford is a young guy by the name of Puka Nacua. I know you all remember that name. How can you forget a guy named Puka Nacua, right? It's kind of sing-songy and kind of makes you happy, except he's not we don't want him. We don't love him in Seattle.
No, I don't love him.
He's one of the best wide receivers in the game. This offense is high-powered, potent. I think they're going to beat the Bears. And I think, ultimately, we're going to see LA again. Oh,
gosh. Okay, I'm scared, but we're going to make it work. Both Seahawks coordinators are also looking at head coaching jobs. Yeah. Do you think there's a little distraction this time of year when stuff like this is happening? I think distraction can happen, but these guys are professionals. I think they know what's on the line. I think that, if you're a coordinator like he is, that you want to go out with wins. So they're going to be focused on winning. Yeah, you get this opportunity once in a lifetime. Go get a win. Absolutely. Okay, before we go, quick thoughts on the UW quarterback, Damon Williams. He's returning despite entering the portal. Yeah. This has been nonstop in the news. Yeah. What does this mean for the Huskies heading into the season? I
think it's crazy, and I think it's good. I think we're in the middle of college football playoffs, right? And everybody's talking about University of Washington, right? So I think it's a good thing. I think it's really upsetting that for me at first when I heard he was leaving, because he's such a great athlete, a great quarterback. We want him on our team. But, situations happen. He signed a contract for $4 million, which is insane for a 19-year-old. But he had to come back. And honestly, he just realistically had no other options. But it's the state of college football these days. The transfer portal is real. Guys are leaving. NIL deals with millions of dollars is real. Things are happening. And I just think we're lucky that we get him for another year.
I know, this is the new wave. Well, I hope he's still happy to stay in Seattle and
come on,
has
man.
a good year. Come on,
Seattle's great. I'll give you a hug, man. I'll make you feel at home right here in
I'll give you a hug, too. Come on, maybe he just needs a big hug.
Big old hug.